Okay, so I kind of wanted to introduce this book, Indian Herbology of North America by Alma Hutchins. It says, The Definitive Guide to Native Medicinal Plants and Their Uses. I started thumbing through the beginning of it. Like they're calling America the New World and everything. So I'm just not going to read most of the beginning. This is like an encyclopedia. You know, there's like little sketches in there, but most of, the beginning of what she's saying, I'm not interested in reading. I don't think you're interested in hearing it either. However, that's just because, like, I don't know, this was written, let's see, 1973, and it's like, you got to dodge the hijack, their timeline, the stuff they're saying that, has actually been disproven by geneticists already. I'm not even going to bring it up. It doesn't matter. But I did like the conclusion to the beginning. It's called Conclusion. So the beneficial properties of herbs as medicines will often depend upon the greenness or ripeness of the plant. The time for cutting and digging is essential to the peak susceptibility of its known attributes. Whether it be summer, winter, spring, or autumn, the timing must be in accord with the plant's protocol. For instance, sacred bark, after it has been stripped in the proper season from the tree and made into a powder or tincture, is more valuable and effective with age. Nettle is a good food in its earliest stage of growth, but will prove unpleasant with age. Another great essential of a plant, which is to be selected for its medical qualities, is its environment. If indigenous to the locality or country wherein it is found, it is the proper one to select. So that means, if you're using plants that you're around, that's what your body is primed to use. Plants that are introduced from other countries are lessened or deprived of their virtues, unless they meet in their new home all the essential conditions possessed in their native place. We could talk more about that. I can tell you more about that from just my little bit of experience gardening. It must be apparent to all that herbs are liable to suffer from soil, climate, etc., and from these conditions will vary the medical properties attributed to them. When giving a medical herb, be informed as to its proper curative effect upon the system. A herb gathered at the correct time and prepared properly will secure restoration to a patient from disease to health. There are two terms we use in the action of herbal medicine on the system. They are rational therapeutics, which have a proven scientific course of action within the body, and empirical therapeutics, which travel the same circulatory system with unexplained, long-established hidden talent. Both have a history of incalculable blessings, and we do not choose one over the other, provided both are used intelligently. Many herbal ingredients have great value and strength, but in emergencies they require immediate professional supervision. It is not advisable to take any strong medication on reputation of the pastime and individuals. The parts that make up the world of plants which are used are roots, barks, twigs, bulbs, corms, rhizomes, styles, stigmas, fruit seed juice, tubers, herbs, leaves, and flowers. Supposedly all herbs have a teleological identification given by the Creator and have been called the doctrine of signatures, which indicate the use for which they were intended. Thus, a heart-shaped leaf would be used for the heart, the liver leaf with the three-lobed leaf for the liver, the walnut as a brain tonic, and so similar shaped plants were named for specific organs of the human body. We are not suggesting that you make a test project from every leaf, flower, or root with this significance, although some of the known plants for bodily correction do correspond this way. There are also plants that do not resemble a part of the body but have corrective influence over a certain function. Dandelion root has always been used for the liver, but in no way does the signature doctrine apply. Perhaps in the beginning, the resembling plants were planned for our associated awareness, the remaining encouraged by experience. If this is how it was indeed planned, the Indians of all the lands displayed noteworthy wisdom before ever a word had been written. From the first method of analyzing herbs to present-day techniques, much insight has been obtained as to their content. Much is still unknown, and no doubt many creations will never be fathomed, as the study of goodness and simplicity are indisputably united and often inconceivable. Natural medicine is timeless, and it is among the first of creation, and it is as new as today. The past is very rich. The future is promising with all of our scientific modern discovery of forgotten truths. Well, if they're still alive, they should look into history a little better. Anyways, so there is, they're like personal views and stuff really are irrelevant to the purpose of this book. So there is a whole 2 pages of definitions here, and I'll have to refer back to them because these plants, they each will have in their description something called bodily influence, and I don't have all these memorized yet, so we'll have to go back and forth a little bit. But I'm not going to start actually reading them. I figure the next reading of this, I'll go through all the A's, which isn't that much, but I can see like 2 or 3 plants I recognize, so I'll get to learn about quite a few new A plants. This is supposedly mostly just North America, being Canada and the US, but they have traveled all over, and I don't know how well received they were. I don't know. I really wasn't even interested in reading what they had to say because they were just like hyping on a bunch of politically correct stuff that I'm not interested in. But anyways, I am interested in the index here. So we're going to get into it. There's a lot of information specifically on each plant, on how to cultivate it. So that's what I'm interested about too. We like to know what these plants are good for, but you know, and then what do we do? Like, how do we make them into a usable substance? So that's kind of what this whole book and video chain is going to be about, is North American herbs and how to utilize them. So thank you for watching.